Welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at Crystron, and they got new support in the new selection pack, and so I thought I'd make a video on it. So yeah, they got Tristaros. This is the new, I guess, tuner that they added. It's really good. It has really good effects. First one is you can just summon a Crystron from your deck and then Synchro summon. The second effect is you can banish to destroy a Synchro, and then you can special 2 Crystrons from your deck, which are usually the 2 level 5s in Sulfefnir and Sulfador. And then you can just overlay these into a Affinity. Omni Negate. Pretty good. So let's just jump into the deck profile. We'll do some combos and then I'll have some replays. So we have 1 Maxi, 1 or 2 Maxi, 1 Sentry. We play the Turtle as Turtle because in a lot of my hands I would just have way too many Crystrons. He allows you to special summon from hand, so you can normal and link it off into Clockwork, and then banish from the grave to special one of the Crystrons. So that's why we added him. I know a lot of lists aren't playing him, but I just kept drawing way too many Crystrons over the weekend. So you only really want to see one in Smiger, because you can, like I said, normal, link it off, and then banish from grave to add a bullet trap or a Crystron spawn trap, which is Inclusion, which is also the new card. And this just searches for the Crystron card. That's pretty good. And then if it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to special a Crystron from the grave. So I'll showcase the combo with it, don't worry. But like I said, I drew way too many Crystrons that I didn't want to see, or copies of them, and this really helped fix my hand a little bit. So we already talked about Tristaros, really good. We have Smiger, and then we play the Wyvern. Again, you can banish it to add a Crystron monster. The lower level ones all kind of have the same graveyard effect, and then they have the first effect. You can target one face-up card you control. You cannot summon from your extra deck for the rest of the turn. Except Machine Synchros. Destroy that card, and if you do, special summon 1 Crystron tuner. The tuners are Tristaros and Sentry. Sentry can Synchro summon on your opponent's turn by bringing back a monster from the grave. Almost like Tristaros, but Tristaros is just whenever they activate an effect, and this is from deck, so that's the difference. And then we have Ash, we have Sulfefnir and Sulfador. The ratios that I'm seeing are like 3-2, either or, so 3 Sulfador and 2 Sulfefnir, or vice versa. They're really good because this one extends. You can discard a Crystron card, you can special him, and then you can pop a card. You can pop itself sometimes to summon like from your deck. Sulfador is usually what you want to go for. And he has the effect where if this card's in your hand or grave, you can target a Crystron card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon. Sometimes you have this on the field, or sometimes you open up with both. You discard Sulfador to special the Sulfefnir, then the Sulfefnir gets popped, and then you can summon from your deck. Like something you don't really want, like Smiger. And then with Sulfador, you pop the Smiger and summon it back, and then his effect activates. He pretty much sends 2 cards to the grave for different names, Crystron cards. And usually the new card Cluster, which is a 1 pop But if you have a Synchro, it's a 2-pop. That's pretty good. And you do send it with Sulfefnir and another card like Tristaros if you don't have it already, or Citri. Just depends on the situation. So then we play the Millennium cards. Cards are kind of weird. I know people are like shifting towards the Millennium cards, but I don't think they're. I don't know. It didn't really work out really over the weekend. I just kept like drawing the golems with Temple. I mean, and they're really good at baiting hand traps, I guess. But like I said, I really opened up like a bunch of Crystron names and a bunch of Millennium cards. So it was really awkward hands, right? And then we have Nib. Foolish is a 1 card. Just send the Smiger away. Miju Temple, the new Rhoda of the deck, you can say. Followed by Crossout, Droplets, Imperms, and then the Cluster. The extra deck, we have the Doom Dragon, Amatrix, Samurai, Don Draxler, Eliscatus. Yeah. Eliscatus, yeah. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this. The level 9 Synchro. Vermilion, Baron, Nova, Infinity, Photon Galaxy, Lord. Good, because like I said, Millennium Combo is kind of weird for me. Sometimes, like I said, I wish I had too many strong cards, and I would have liked to have the Horus cards there instead. We have, let's see, Zombie Vampire, which is good if you don't open up any Crystron cards, but like I was saying, I was just getting so many copies of Crystron cards. Clockwork Knight, and this card would have been really good if it just searched for the Clockwork Knight card, like the Floodgate, but it doesn't do that. You have to send away a continuous spell, which may or may not come up, but we don't play this Clockwork Knight, so it doesn't matter. And then we have Little Knight, which just with the Millennium engine, it's really good. You can go essentially Zombie Vampire, and you still have a body left over, and then you go Little Knight, and then do all your Crystron stuff afterwards. So I will showcase some of the combos, and then we'll watch some replays. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. This will be the Sulfefnir combo, and all you need is Sulfefnir and a discard. It doesn't matter which one it is. So Sulfefnir activates to discard the Citri. If it has a graveyard effect, the better, like Smiger or Thyworn. So we just destroy that, activate the effect, use special to Sulfefnir. Sulfefnir will send 2 cards away, so it's always the trap. In this case, we'll send the Smiger. We want to have access to inclusion. So you banish the Smiger, add the inclusion, and then we can activate inclusion. Now we also need access to Tristaros, so this is where we grab him. Now we can normal summon, and then we can synchro off into a Skeletus. Skeletus will activate to add the trap card. And now Tristaros will activate to pop the Synchro. Then here you summon 2 level 5s. So both Sulfefnirs. Fine. And then Ascaletus activates. Then we bring back the Tristaros. Here we go into Nova. And then Infinity. It's pretty much your typical board, but we can actually do more because we have Citri. So in the grave, we have Sulfador activate to pop the spell card. Special Sulfador, and then here you can just go on early Don Draxler. Doesn't really matter, like on your opponent's turn, whenever they activate anything, you activate your Staros and go Don Draxler regardless. And you also have inclusion, and in this specific example, because we discarded the Citri, just bring it back, which is also Synchro on the opponent's turn. So we'll just go, like, so we can do Don Draxler on our turn, and then if I had played a second one, we would do another Don Draxler on their turn. You can also go into this guy and not do anything right now. Also remember that you don't have to, whatever you summon from your deck, you don't have to Synchro with that monster. So this is a level 9. This is the big boss monster, which is banish cards up to the materials used. So keep that in mind. So you can sit here and just set your cluster, pass, and you can go into a 9 or Don Draxler plus another level 7, which is most likely going to be Don Draxler. So that'll be it for this combo. Let's check out another combo. This would be the, I guess, the bigger combo of the deck. You can really set up a good board. Tengenjin, Tristaros, and then access to your inclusion, which we do have Smiger, and then we do have the inclusion already, so you can get access to inclusion, you're good. So you just need Tengenjin. And you don't even need Tristaros, but we'll have him there just so we can go like a little bit like farther with him, make the combo a little bit better. So Tengenjin, activate Tengenjin, and you're gonna summon the summon him and then add the golem. Golem will then activate, and then you can summon the golem and then draw for the Ouija Temple, and then you activate the Ouija Temple. And here there are some options. Like I said, if you have the Tristaros, it's pretty good, and there's other ways to get to the Tristaros, like the Thwyvern. You can search for a Crystron monster. So if you have Thwyvern, that also works. And the best part about the Crystrons is that they activate in the grave. So let's just pretend we don't have inclusion, right? And you have the Smiger. You just set the Smiger and then choose whichever one you want. And then you can go into a Doom Dragon. Don't activate the effect. And now you have access to the inclusion with this. So it's a lot of different combinations. Like we could even put the turtle down, banish it, so we can special the Tristaros and not really waste our normal summon here. So now we can just normal the Tristaros, and yes, you can go into Baron. So you go into Baron here for our 5th summon as well. You can also do Photon Lord. And then we're gonna take it even a little bit further, and we're gonna go Little Knight here. So that's pretty much this, just the Sing engine part plus the one Tristaros. And we did search for the inclusion, so we can activate to add the Sulfefnir. And now we're just doing the Crystron combo. So you pop special, and then you can send the trap card. And like I said, we already have the Tristaros, so we're just gonna send the Sulfefnir. And now we do the inclusion to banish, special the Tristaros, and you guys have seen this already. We go into the Skeletus, so we can grab the trap. Grab the trap card. And even with just this, it's a really good board so far. So, but we can still keep going. Activate Tristaros. And pop the Skeletus. And here, we can do the 2 5s. 5s are fine here. Yeah. 2 5s. Skeletus will bring back the Tristaros that was banished. And then we go Nova. And then we go Infinity afterwards. So that's essentially the entire board. If you have an extra Crystron in your hand, which we do, we can even go a little bit further. But before that, let's just look at our final board just so you can understand what's going on here. We got the Baron, we have the Tristaro, that goes into a Don Draxler, we have the Little Knight Banish, Infinity Omni Negate, so 2 Omni Negates, then we have a pop here. And then like I said, if you do have an extra card in your hand to discard, in this case we'll do the Turtle. Be special, and then pop him afterwards, and then he'll summon the other level 2, the Citri, and now we have even more stuff here. This can be another, like I said, if I play more Don Draxlers, it'd be 2 Don Draxlers, one after the other, or you can summon Skeletus and set up for next turn. Also, now this becomes a double pop. We have a Synchro, or you can summon a level 5 with Tristaros and go into a level 9, which is this guy, and he'll banish 3 cards for your opponent, as well as you'll have the double pop opportunity as well. If not, 2 Don Draxlers is good. 1 Don Draxler or 1 Skeletus, also very good. So that'll be it for the 3 card combo, more like Millennium plus like you know, Tristaros and another good Crystron card. This would be just the 1 card with Smiger. You can also just Foolish the Smiger away, that works too. But we don't have Foolish, so we're gonna normal summon. Then link off into Clockwork. And then banish the Smiger. Add the inclusion. Then we don't have that. And then activate. Add the Sulfefnir. Sulfefnir is your best monster, I'd say. Want to get access to him as soon as possible. So you pop in special. Now Sulfefnir sends the trap card and the Tristaros. And then you can activate the inclusion. Bring back the Tristaros. Now you have your level 7. So you Synchro off into a Skeletus. Skeletus adds the trap card. And now Tristaros can pop your Skeletus for the 2/5s. Oh. There's both Sulfefnirs. Skeletus activates. Bring back the Tristaros. Later a Don Draxler. Then this guy is Infinity. Oh, you go Nova. This. You can also just suck up the Clockwork. There you go. And then that's pretty much the full combo with just a Smiger or an Inclusion. Obviously my hand is a little bit more. With this hand I would go Photon Lord first. Then we still have Sulfefnir extension we can do later on if you want to, part of the combo, but it's essentially the one card with Smiger or Foolish, and it's the same thing with Inclusion. So let's check out some replays. So we have the first replay, we have Smiger. So we start with Smiger, link him off, add the Inclusion, activate that. Here we already have the Sulfador, so we add the Sulfefnir for extra extension. This card just gets permanently ashed, Bailored, or Impermed. Just fine. I'll be activate the Sulfefnir to ditch the other Sulf card, pop himself, and then go into Staros into the Skeletus. We add the Smiger for next turn. Staros pops, we summon 2. Usually you would summon 2 level 5s. And then go Infinity. But in this case, you still have the Inclusion special, and then Skeletus also specials. We go for Citri, another level 2 tuner like in Synchro. And we went for the 1/5 because we do need 2 at some point. So Skeletus summons the Staros, then the Inclusion summons the 5. Now we go in Nova and Infinity. This is kind of the you suck up the Clockwork. Kind of the best case scenario because this is Don Draxler. Never really activate anything. And then he can be a second Don Draxler. Or you can make the level 9 Synchro, which banishes 3. So from the field or grave, so yeah. We're in a good spot here. Heals Diabell. I oughta right away just Synchro off into Don Draxler. Stop OSS there. Activates OSS. I Ash. Then he ends his turn. It's pretty good for us. We just stopped them. Here I didn't know that this prevents you from attacking, or else it would have ended differently. But Sulfefnir, and then we get back the Staros. We go Little Knight so we can banish. And then activate Smiger, he negates it with Ash. And I couldn't attack like I said. I banished the Tristaros to pop. Now we're just going to be looping over our cards, because we want to get the Sulfefnir to send the trap card to the grave. And we don't know what he's playing yet. Pile deck. But we just pendulum cards, so with Cluster I can just pop the scales whenever I need to. That's why I pop my own monsters to get the Sulfefnir out again. So now, so we go Inclusion, bring back Tristaros because we want to keep that, and then go Skeletus, add back the trap like I said, Infinity sucks up the Phantasme. Now the Skeletus can pop 2 because we have Synchro on the board. So does OSS stuff and negate that. He goes to Diabell. Doing just some that guy stuff. Recycle cards, special, banish right away, so you can't summon Flamebridge later. Broke. Then he adds OSS, links off into Karibo. That's send the skill, sends off for Witch. Moon here. I don't want him to go into Requiem, so I just pop both. And he forfeits. Oh, that's it for that replay. Okay, so we have another replay here. And we have the inclusion, so we activate it. This is the Droll does, so this kind of want to showcase what you can do with Droll. Oh, and the Ash does as well. So let's fast forward a little bit. So here, with Sulfador, I discarded the Smiger. Summon the Sulfefnir. Sulfefnir pops itself. Now we're back with Tristaros for the level 7. So we go Skeletus. Gets negated as well. No. 3 hand traps. It's pretty good. And then we have Chef Tristaros, so we're gonna pop it. Then summon another Tristaros. Because like I said, a Skeletus, when it's destroyed, you can bring back another one. So now we have the Vives and Tristaros. And here you didn't really have to do that, summon a Skeletus, but it's fine. And now we can go into Infinity. So yes, 3 cards. I have Ash, Infinity, plus Tristaros, so it's like the mirror match. Here I just summon the Don Draxler. Negate the Sulfefnir from the grave, he has Ash, and then I negate that. It's pretty much game. So we showcased a lot of the hand traps you can use against him, and it doesn't really do a lot if you have the certain cards in your hand. So we have another replay here. You have Sulfefnir and Sulfador, so you discard one special, then we can pop. And then you can summon your Sulfador. Here send your 2 away. Here I send the Inclusion and the Tristaros, because once again, you really want to get to Skeletus and the Tristaros in the grave. So I banish the Inclusion, special Skeletus, the Cycle Skeletus, and then Tristaros pop. Summon the 5 and the 3 here. Like always, a Skeletus revives. Monster from your grave, so I revive the 5. Now we have 2 5s again. Then we go Nova. And then Infinity. Now we link that off into Clockwork Knight. A Smiger can add the trap card. Purges. I guess I'll negate this. I shouldn't have negated though, just because of Baron, but that's fine. And then we have the cluster, we have the inclusion. Here we activate Droll. Okay. They suck up the Clockwork Knight. Set 2 and pass. So we're in an okay spot. He negates here. He goes barrel and negate that. He links it off, negate that as well. He activates bingo. I shouldn't have used my Ash on this. Should have let him add it. Then activate the Molosseum, and then I just pop it with the cluster. That way I can Ash the this. So he has Majesty and Maiden. Either way, I can just pop the light. The Tristaro's back, pop the Maiden. The last card is Majesty. So that's it for that replay. Okay, so we have another replay here. I wanna showcase the Millennium cards. So typical stuff. Golem, add the temple, put the Synchro, add another Synchro. Then you go zombie vamp. Send a couple cards. Another 60 card deck. Tristaros actually get summoned from zombie vamp. You get nibbed here. Cross out. Oh. So we start missing our level 7. So I go Little Knight here just to kind of dodge abilities. Then I set one and pass, and it doesn't look like a lot, but both of these can synchro on your opponent's turn. Go Don Draxler, or some cases Amatrix, and in even other cases you can go into the level 9, which we'll be doing here. So I activate the stars right away, and then I synchro into the level 9 because I know that once it gets summoned, we'll get the token, and they're trying to go into the level 10 barrier statue. If I summon him, just banish everything, just so I don't have to deal with it. And we still have Little Knight, so summons a monster, I banish both. Again, he's trying to go for the level 10 synchro. Goes Typhon, I droplet it. And now it's back to my turn. Here I draw a call by, do the Tristaro stuff. I want to get into Infinity. So the level 3 and the 5. Because I sent the inclusion. He banishes my inclusion target because I can bring it back. So he banishes that. It's fine. We have the Thyvern still. We add the Tristaros. Normal summon. We go Esqueletus. We add back the clusters. We can pop 2. Sulfador pops the Smiger to special itself. With Smiger, we can then add the inclusion. Activate the inclusion. We add the Pastoral. Discard it to special the Sulfefnir. Pop him. He can then special another one. I don't think that was needed, to be honest. So just pop the inclusion spell. And then either way, we end up back at Infinity. We suck into Typhon. And he nibs us. We have the Infinity. This is another strength of going into Little Knight. If he would have Typhon, or not Typhon, would have Nibiru'd me earlier. I actually couldn't Nibiru because he had Typhon. But just in case they do nib you at some point, you can just Little Knight out and you still have a board. So Typhon pretty much ruined this game for him, and now I just attack. I have a bunch of pops and Omni Negate, so yeah, he's pretty cooked. So that'll be it for that replay. Let's watch some more replays. So we have another replay here. We have the Smiger. This is kind of the bread and butter of the deck. Normal, you slink off, you special. We have the cluster because we have the inclusion already. Again, we have the Sulfador. Pop, you special. This situation, I sent the Tristaros because we have the spell already to revive him, as well as the I'm gonna call him Wyvern, purple one, because we can add a tuner. So we special Tristaros, and now we're back to the level 7 stuff, right? So we get nibbed here. Pretty devastating, actually. But at least we recuperated the illusion for next turn. We have all these traps. Banish the Wyvern to add the Sulfefnir. Sulfefnir to send the inclusion. Pop it. Summon the Tristalos. That way we can at least go into the Don Draxler for a negate. Top of, I know, Droplet, Super Poly in the cluster, which is a 1-card pop. If you have a Synchro, it's a 2-card. So, yep. Oh, it's his turn. He summons the Slurry Load. I pop it right away. Summon some Magicians, and then I can just special to 5, then go in Don Draxler. This is what I meant by like weird duels that like at 11 at night. We're playing against Blue Eyes, and then he has his cards or whatever. And they get the Moloxium. You retrieve summons for Deep Eyes. I'm like, okay. Then it gets weirder. He goes into Urikara. So at this point, I'm like, what is even going on? He destroys my monster and brings back my Don Draxler. I'm like, okay. Luckily, I have Super Poly, and I just fuse them away to Swamp. But then I have the Inclusion in the grave to bring back the Skeletus, and now just Aros can do the whole loop thing again. And then he just FFs. So, that was it for that replay. That'll be it for the combos and replays, and we're just here to give my final thoughts about the deck. I don't think it's a good deck, actually. It's really expensive for no reason, and I wouldn't recommend crafting it unless you're just a huge Crystron fan. I pretty much spent 230 UR or 240 plus like all my gems that I had saved up, like around 6,000, 7,000. So yeah, that pretty much happened over the weekend. I thought the deck would be a lot better, but it just wasn't. And I'm not too sure if I got unlucky, because I kept getting max seed the whole weekend. So maybe it's just that. I also like, I wouldn't say bricked a lot, but I got a lot of copies of the Crystrons in my opening hand, going second. Sometimes I drew the Golem and the Ouija Temple and like a bunch of random stuff. I even played like the Super Poly version instead of the Imperms here. And I never really got Super Poly off. If anything, I got Super Poly'd all weekend. Probably because Brandeds are a lot popular now, and still plays it, and their decks also play like Super Poly. Your Don Draxler plus the Infinity just get Super Poly'd off the board. So watch out for that. And it got so bad with the multiple copies that I added the turtle. I didn't have this in my first version of the deck that I played on like Friday and Saturday. It was until like Sunday and Monday that I added, or Sunday that I added the turtle, and then I banished it to special Crystron from your hand. Added it because I kept drawing so many, and it made me wonder if the horse version might be better, because like I said, I just kept drawing them over and over. Like I would have like 2-2-1 or something crazy, and it was impossible to go second. So I ended up just cutting the Super Polys because they never really came up. I just added the Imperms back, and yeah, that's pretty much the changes. Another thing is, I really wish I had a second Don Draxler. Like I already committed so much to the deck, and I don't really feel like committing more URs to it. But if you do have two, I do highly recommend playing two, because it does come up. And I was like, oh man, I really wish I had the second one here. Because once you go into the 7, you're limited to Samurai, or summon your second Skeletus. I don't know what other level 7s you can summon, so let's just look right now. So I guess you can go Black Rose. Oh no, you're locked to machines. I don't think you're locked on machines on the opponent's turn though. Oh yeah, you are. You can go summon one machine from your deck. Yeah, so you're locked to machines. Yeah, filter out a little bit more. So you're locked to all these. And I've never seen anyone play any of these. So yeah, you're pretty just limited to make it another Don Draxler. So yeah, that's the only card that I would actually just add. Is Don Draxler. Second one, and then never made this. Thought it would be good because you can summon the level 3 from your deck and then go into this. And it also makes it that your trap card can pop 2. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You make this very rarely, but when you do, it's pretty much an auto win. And then everything else I've made. Yeah, like essentially every duel. Make zombie vampire if you don't have access to your Crystron cards. You do have access to your Crystron cards, you make Photon. And then you always end with Infinity plus Tristaros. So you end up on 2 Omni Negates. And sometimes you can even have a little bit more. So that does happen. Then we have Foolish, which is a 1 card. If you send Smiger. If you have the Inclusion, you can actually just do a lot more plays already. You do have the Foolish and the Inclusion. Send something else. But that's pretty much it for the deck. Like I said, I don't know if I got max seed a lot or I just got really unlucky. But I also played late at night, so there's some like weird stuff happening at that time. Like I'm playing against so many 60 card decks. I was just playing the most random stuff. So, and they open up Maxi and called by on their turn. So going second. So yeah, maybe I got unlucky. But my initial thoughts is like it's like a tier 3 deck. But like Monday afternoon, I thought to myself like this deck is way worse than that. So like I said, I don't know if the Horus cards are better than the Millennium cards. There's many times where I wish I had Mseti. So maybe I try that version out for this week, but like I'm already just kind of over this deck and not really committed to it anymore because it was really expensive and it wasn't a huge payout. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Then make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.